Welcome back to the Coaching Point. So today we're going to discuss a unique way to play your safeties in a cover 4 quarters defense. I'm going to give you exactly how we played our safeties when I was at the University of Central Missouri. Let's get into it. So today we're going to discuss, and I'm going to show you how to install the nail coverage. It's a quarters coverage. It's when the safety match number 2 to the flat or to the wheel. Do the safeties technique versus number 2 receiver vertical release. And we're going to discuss our catch technique. We're also going to discuss our 3x1 check for a free safety and his responsibility to match number 3 vertical. So this is our progression. We called it Casker, and I'm going to give you the reason why we called it Casker. So these are the progressions we go through pre-snap. Call. Every player must know and understand what each defensive call means. Alignment. Before you can do your job as a player, you must recognize the formation, get lined up correctly, don't beat yourself before the ball snap.
A player's stance is critical to his ability to play the game. A good stance can eliminate wasted movement. The game of football is a game of inches, and eliminating wasted movement can make the difference between making the play or not.
Key. Who's your key? Everyone on the defense has to know their initial key. Someone on the offense will tell you the story. And responsibility. Everyone must know their responsibility and execute at 100% effort. These were our pre-snap progressions. Everyone must know the call, their alignment, have a good stance, know their keys, and know their responsibilities. We're going to have a staggered stance. We're going to be flat foot. We call it our flat foot slow read. Our keys. We're going to key the number 2 receiver. Don't let your eyes deceive you. The number 2 receiver will tell you the story. Read his demeanor. Your run responsibilities as a safety in this quarter defense. If you are the safety and the ball's getting run your way, you must come down and fill the alley. If you are the safety and the ball is running away from you, you are the fence line defender, which is the cutback. Now we're going to discuss the pass responsibilities for those safeties. You want to come out slow and controlled. You want to read the release of number 2. If the number 2 receiver releases vertical over 10 yards, he is your man. If the number 2 receiver releases inside 10 or under, zone your quarter. If the number 2 receiver releases outside or to the flat, match number 2 to the flat or / wheel. If the number 1 and number 2 receiver, if they run any type of scissors concept, the corner and the safety will pass off 1 and 2. Now we're going to discuss the top of the route technique for the safeties versus a vertical release of the number 2 receiver. So we call our catch technique. Catch technique is basically when the number 2 receiver is pressing at you vertical. We didn't want our safeties just bailing out of there and not getting hands on them. So we played and called it our catch technique, where our safety will come out slow and controlled. That number 2 receiver is getting on his toes. He's bouncing on his toes, and he's absorbing the receiver as they release vertical. So meaning that number 2 receiver is pressing that our safety vertical past 10 yards. My safety, he's just not running out of there or backing out of there. He's going to pound his feet, hit hands on the number 2 receiver, and get in the inside hip pocket of that number 2 receiver and try to stay in phase. Now, I want to give you guys what we call our trap technique. Our safety, our backside safety, or give the trap call. His alignment versus a tight end, he will line up B gap 8 yards off the ball. Versus the receiver, he will line up in the A gap 11 yards off the ball. We always kept that staggered flat foot stance, and his key was the triangle. The triangle meaning guard, center, and the quarterback. He's seeing through those guys. His responsibility, if it was run to him, he had the alley. If it was run away from him, he had fence line, what we call our cutback. If it was passed to a 3-by-1 set, if number 3 released vertical, that's his man. If number 3 do not release vertical, then he must zone his quarter. The trap call was for those teams that had the zone read. It gave our safety the ability to come down and play that aggressively. So if the quarterback pulled the ball, our safety could come down and make the play in the alley. It allowed us to have that extra defender to account for the quarterback run. So there you have it. This is how we played our safeties in our cover 4 quarters coverage. We called it our adjust package. It gave our safeties the abilities to adjust to any formation. It gave them free range to make calls. We had some unique ways of how we did things, but all in all, it allowed our guys to play fast and make plays.